1, 2, 1, 2. This is 3 minutes, all boxing. This is One Round with George. Ever since I was a kid and saw Sugar Ray Leonard fight, I've loved boxing. I was at HBO for 15 years as a feature producer, won a few sports Emmys.
Not bad.
I got to travel the world and tell the great stories of these fighters.
Maybe something of a rooting interest in Alexander among the entire HBO Sports crew here, because Alexander's manager is former HBO Sports producer George Jakovic.
I've managed a fighter, I've worked a fighter's corner, being as close to the action as you can get. My life is revolved around boxing. Saturday, March 26th on ESPN, it was the comeback of former 130-pound champ Miguel Berchelt. Berchelt moved up to lightweight and took on Jeremiah Nakathila, and this fight was all Nakathila. Nakathila dropped Berchelt in the third round, brutalized him, stopped him in 6. It doesn't look like Berchelt has recovered from that devastating knockout last year to Oscar Valdez. And on Showtime, it was the American debut of Australia's Tszyu. The unbeaten 154-pounder is the son of the great Tszyu, and he faced off against Gausha. Gausha started off quick in this fight, dropped Tszyu in the first round, but Tszyu's effective aggression and pressure ultimately turned out to be too much for Gausha. Tszyu was relentless for all 12 rounds, and he won a 12-round decision in a red-hot 154-pound division. May 28th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, we get the long-delayed lightweight fight between Tank Davis and Rolly Romero. They were supposed to fight in December. Rolly was pulled off that card with charges that were later dropped. Recently, Tank's been on social media. A lot of people think he's taking shots at Mayweather Promotions. Mayweather Promotions has been with David since 2015. They've helped make him into a pay-per-view draw. On May 28th, they square off in a Showtime pay-per-view. We are another day closer to April 30th. I will be in Madison Square Garden watching Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano battle for lightweight supremacy in the biggest women's fight in the history of the sport. Meanwhile, New Jersey's own Shakur Stevenson is going to be battling Oscar Valdez for supremacy in the 130-pound division. I'm with Stevenson all the way on this one. Recently, former welterweight champion Sean Porter visited Stevenson's gym.
You see shit before it happened, and I'm gonna leave it there. But as a fighter, when you see stuff before it happened, that's all I need.
The lightweight division right now is my favorite division in boxing. Here we are in March. None of these top lightweights have fought each other yet. Now we're supposedly close to getting George Kambosos and Devin Haney together. Kambosos was supposed to fight Vasily Lomachenko. Lomachenko was in Ukraine defending his country against Russia. So Kambosos has moved on to Devin Haney. Right after beating Teofimo Lopez, Kambosos said he wanted to fight Haney. That didn't happen. Hopefully they're about to fight soon. If they don't, let's see what the excuse is. One of my favorite podcasts is Mike Tyson's Hot Boxing. I love Tyson's style. I love how he interviews people, especially fighters. Recently, he had Jamal Charlo, the middleweight champion, on, and Tyson asked him about fighting David Benavidez.
Did you fight him?
I fight him for sure.
Yeah.
It's
this guy got me calling him the Mexican monk. Everybody's scared of this guy. I hear you saying you want to fight.
I just think his value is low. He's not worth as much as
God damn, man!
Right.
Too friendly. You gotta be like the Roberto Duran. Get in the ring. We signed a contract, bitch.
And Charlo caught some heat for that appearance. A few days later, his brother Jamel, the 154-pound champion, had some words for his May 14th opponent, Brian Castano.
I'm gonna knock that bitch out, though. I give y'all 12 rounds of fighting this shit.
And also called out Mike Tyson.
And tell Mike Tyson come holler at me.
Another fight that caught my eye on that Showtime schedule, Erickson Lubin and Sebastian Fundora are fighting for the interim. What is an interim title? You're not a real champion. It's not a real title. What's your list of top 10 interim champions of all time? Who's the interim NFL champion this year? Does baseball have an interim champion? No, it's only in boxing. But boxing is a business, and when a fighter has a belt, any kind of belt, the boxing organizations get to charge the fighter a sanctioning fee. What is a sanctioning fee? A fighter pays the boxing organization to defend that belt. The more belts that are out there, the more money the boxing organizations can charge fighters. It's always about money in boxing, not about sense. March 23rd, 1996, the legend of Arturo Gatti was born. Gatti had recently become the 130-pound champ. He had his first title defense on HBO's Boxing After Dark against Wilson Rodriguez. It was supposed to be an easy fight for Gatti, but as we know, there weren't many easy fights in Gatti's career. Gatti was in trouble from the beginning. The first round, his eyes started to swell shut. The second round, Rodriguez dropped him. Gatti was in all sorts of trouble early, but Gatti slowly willed himself back into the fight, dropped Rodriguez in the 5th, and then completed a miraculous comeback in the 6th round when he knocked Rodriguez out. Gatti went on to have a great career, and he died over a decade ago under very suspicious circumstances. Very much missed. The legend of Thunder Gatti was born March 23rd, 1996. That's it. The bell has rung. One round with George is done. That exhilarating one round with me is over. Now you can go to my YouTube page. You can like the content, you can subscribe to the page, and there is more coming soon.